From KARK4 and Fox 16, this is a special report. Here's Mitch McCoy.
And good morning to you. I'm Mitch McCoy here at KARK4 and Fox 16 in Little Rock. We have breaking news right now. An Amber Alert has been issued for an Arkansas 17-year-old girl. You see her photo right there, Trinity Case. She's from Hot Springs. At this hour, there are reports coming in from her family that she's being held for ransom. This is according to the Hot Springs Police Department. And then, of course, Arkansas State Police, who issued that Amber Alert. This is all coming in. We're getting this information in real time, and we will pass it along to you as we get it here. But I'm going to allow a few minutes here to pass. I'm going to let people join in across all of our digital platforms on our website, KARK.com, and then, of course, Fox16.com as well, and on our social media channels. But here's what we know right now. Trinity Case was reported missing sometime Monday night. This is going to be last night around 9:10 p.m. She was at work, according to Hot Springs Police, at the Pour Some Sugar on Me bakery. This is going to be in Hot Springs, and we're told that when she was leaving work last night about 9:15, she, along with another coworker, they were walking to their vehicles parked about a block away. That is when, according to authorities, they were met by an unknown person, possibly a woman, asking to use their phone. At some point, there were GPS coordinates turned on. And at this point, what we know is that, according to police, that is when there was possibly this woman, Trinity Case, got inside of her a car. And then at this point, what we know is that the victim's mom, Trinity Case here, has been trying numerous times to call the victim. And at first, she said she was fine. And then, according to authorities, a man came across the phone stating that they are demanding $10,000 for her return, or they would kill this young woman here, Trinity Case. Again, this is all according to the Hot Springs Police Department and now Arkansas State Police, who's ultimately responsible for issuing the Amber Alert. This is, of course, a very rapidly and developing story that I think will only continue to change as the morning goes on. So as we are sitting here and we are allowing some of our viewers to join in across our digital platforms, let's go ahead and reset what we know right now. This is Trinity Case. You see her photo there. An Amber Alert was issued within the last half hour for her after disappearing from work last night from a bakery in Hot Springs, the Pour Some Sugar on Me bakery, which is going to be there in Hot Springs. She was leaving work, and at some point she may have been taken against her will, and that is why we now have this Amber Alert that has been issued. There are a couple key points that we're going to want to point out here, and that's going to be the fact that, according to authorities, her phone was pinging and was last headed south on Highway 7, south of Hot Springs. And that's going to be very critical, not just for a law enforcement response, but also for authorities to try and collect as much information as they possibly could. She was last seen wearing a blue hoodie with the Pour Some Sugar on Me logo, wearing legging style pants and white tennis shoes. Of course, we're going to go through her description as well, but we're going to allow more people to join in on our online coverage here. She is 17 years old. She is from the Hot Springs area. She is a white female. She's about 5'6". She weighs 115 pounds approximately. She has a brown ponytail, and she has hazel eyes. And again, she was last seen wearing that blue hoodie with Pour Some Sugar on Me sweatshirt. That's the establishment of where she worked, with that logo on it. She was wearing legging style pants and white tennis shoes. There are a couple different points that I want to point out here, and I'm going to go here to our I'm going to actually switch that up. Of course, we're in Studio B here, so we have all of the tools to bring you this comprehensive coverage, and I want to bring it up on our board here, because I think that there's a couple different points that I want to point out as authorities begin this massive law enforcement operation here in Arkansas. And again, this is going to be in Hot Springs for this Amber Alert that has been issued for this 17-year-old girl from Garland County. So let's go to the board here, and as I do that, I want to go ahead. There's just a couple more buttons that I have to hit here, and we are going to be able to bring you this in real time. As we do this, there's a couple different points that I want to make. Okay, here we go. All right, so you're looking at a map here, and this is going to be Central Avenue. And of course, for people that are familiar with Hot Springs, this is the heart of Hot Springs. I mean, when you're talking tourism, this is it for the Spa City. According to Google here, this is approximately where she was last seen. And this is going to be in that area of that Pour Some Sugar on Me bakery where she was possibly walking from. We're told that this was a parking garage that she was walking to after her shift at this bakery. And at this point, according to authorities, that is where obviously something happened, and she is now possibly being held against her will. Looking at this, again, if you're just joining us, according to Trinity's mom, that you see, again, Trinity's at the bottom right-hand corner, her photo. According to her mom, she answered the phone saying everything is fine, and then that is when a man came across the phone stating that he wanted $10,000 for her return, or they would kill and cut up the victim here. And again, so this is Central Avenue. There's a couple different things that I want to point out. This is the area of where the bakery is, and I've been in this area before, and I want to say that there's a parking garage. This is actually a city parking garage, and again, it doesn't say, they just say a parking lot. They were walking to their vehicles parked a block away. And I'm sure people that are joining us on Facebook Live, you can all join us as well in this conversation, but I'm pretty sure. So this is a city parking garage. You see the parking, and what I'm going to do is take this on a full picture here, so that way you guys can see exactly what I'm seeing. There we go. Okay, so you see this right here where it says parking. That is one of the, if I remember correctly, that is a city lot. That is a parking lot owned by the city of Hot Springs. You also have this parking lot here, which looks like it is a privately owned parking lot as well. You immediately start looking at things in this area that could help law enforcement out. Things such as cameras. The first thing they're going to want to know is possibly what kind of car is she in, to ultimately get a license plate out and to go ahead and put those out on billboards. Whenever an Amber Alert is issued, all of the billboards across the state of Arkansas, the RDOT signs, will flip over and start broadcasting that Amber Alert message. And many people are asking right now on social media about why is there no alert on phones. And somebody just saying that they got an alert on their phone in Sherwood. I have not gotten my Amber Alert message that would be sent out with that emergency alert tone. I have not gotten that yet. I have not received that yet. I can only imagine that that is in the process. Again, this just started happening within the last few minutes. So things are still very rapidly developing. But as somebody just pointed out, there are numerous cameras along Hot Springs Avenue. You are absolutely right. Central Avenue. Those are all going to be valuable resources in the coming hours for law enforcement to go look at it, try and figure out possibly what vehicle that Trinity case is in. And of course, that is all going to be critical clues as they start to figure out what happened to Trinity and this 17-year-old girl who now, according to Hot Springs Police, could be getting held for ransom. Again, this $10,000 ransom now in play, according to authorities, after she was possibly kidnapped after walking home from work with another coworker. And of course, Hot Springs Police, along with every other law enforcement agency, is involved. You know, a couple of different things as we come up to the top of the hour here that I think that we should keep in mind is that authorities only issue Amber Alerts when it's approved by Arkansas State Police. But when you're looking at, you know, an Amber Alert situation like this, Hot Springs Police will be the ones to officially request the Amber Alert. Arkansas State Police had to make that quick decision, assess the information, and determine if Trinity's life could be in danger. And that is when that Amber Alert is issued. And so Arkansas State Police obviously had enough information to go here to say, you know what? We are going to issue that Arkansas Amber Alert. We're not going to issue this as an endangered child advisory. We are officially going with an Amber Alert, which raises the bar. I mean, that's where you have the alerts go out on people's phone. The billboard messages switch over as well. So you can only imagine that phones are going to start going off here very soon if you haven't already gotten that alert. But right now, all of the resources are going to be in play here to try and figure out what happened to this young woman, Trinity Case, again, 17 years old, who was apparently at work last night at the Pour Some Sugar on Me bakery, which is going to be along Central Avenue. That is when there was apparently some sort of situation that she has now been possibly taken against her will. I'm going to go ahead and read the circumstances surrounding the Amber Alert, and this is what Arkansas State Police put in their alert, which I think is so critical because I think that this will give you a real estimate to exactly what is happening and what authorities have in terms of information. According to, and again, I'm reading off of the alert here. As I do that, I'm going to go ahead and bring up her photo because I want to bring it up full. There we go. And if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and share this video. If you haven't already, go ahead, hit the share button. Let's try and get as many people as possible to put eyes on this. We really need we need as many people as possible on this. We need as many people to look at this video, to look at her picture, and share her picture to allow as many people as possible to see what's going on. And so if you can do that, please do. So that way we can try and help law enforcement, at least in whatever fashion we can, get the information out. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to read this word for word from Arkansas State Police. I'm going to try and give you some context to what is happening. And this, I think, will give you a fair assessment to the situation. Again, this is going to be from Arkansas State Police related to this now Amber Alert situation that is unfolding in our state today. And again, this is from Arkansas State Police. The victim, Trinity Case, left work, which is the Pour Some Sugar on Me bakery, at approximately 9:15 on Monday, April 18th, 2022. The victim, along with another co-worker, were walking to their vehicles parked a block away. The two females were met with an unknown white female standing near a parked vehicle. The unknown white female asked the victim if she could use her phone. The unknown female stated that she was lost and her parents were staying in a condo in Hot Springs. The unknown female changed her mind and stated to the victim that she needed to utilize the GPS coordinates and asked the victim to walk closer to the unknown female's vehicle. During this time, The friend of the victim stated that she went to go get her vehicle, parked in the City of Hot Springs owned parking garage. Okay. Okay, so we're actually getting this together. A lot of you were looking and making comments and asking why there hasn't been an alert yet. We just got it. I just got the statewide Amber Alert on my message. I'm going to continue reading here. They went parked in the City of Hot Springs owned parking garage. When the friend arrives to pick up the victim is nowhere to be located. The friend attempts to call the victim with no answer. The friend panics and calls the victim's mother. The mother attempts numerous times to call the victim's phone, and the victim answers and states, quote, "Everything is fine." When a male voice comes across the phone and states that they are demanding $10,000 for her return or they would kill and cut up the victim, the phone goes dead at this time and no contact has been made since. The victim's cell phone was pinged and was last seen headed south on US Highway 7, south of Hot Springs. She was last seen wearing a blue hoodie with Pour Some Sugar on Me logo, legging-style pants, and white tennis shoes. That is what we know officially from the Arkansas State Police and the Hot Springs Police Department. That is it. We don't have much more besides, her descriptions. Again, that's a white female, about 5'6", her weight 115 pounds, brown ponytail, hazel eyes. Her complexion is described as light. Of course, there's going to be a ton of questions on this. Of course, there's also going to be a fairly large response when it comes from a law enforcement perspective. Of course, you're going to have Arkansas State Police, you're going to have Hot Springs Police, you're going to have everyone possible involved in this, including the FBI, if they are not already involved. So again, as we just recap here, I want to make sure I'm not getting any more information. I want to just reset and make sure for folks also in our newsroom that are watching, if you guys can let me know, let's just make sure that if you can, if there's been any new updates, please let me know before we wrap up. Looking at we are being told that the signs, the interstate signs across, being told that the interstate signs across the state are turning. And when I say interstate signs, I'm referring to the highway billboards. I'm looking to see if we possibly can see one of those messages, because that can be critical life-saving information right there to all these people that are coming into Arkansas. Again, she was this Trinity case was last seen her phone was pinging, was last seen headed south on US Highway 7, which is just south of Hot Springs. Again, I'm going to look to see if we can and I'm waiting for the newsroom. I just want to make sure that there's no updates that are coming in. Not seeing any. Yeah, I'm not seeing any. Of course, the response here is just going to be massive. I mean, a situation like this, every minute counts. I'm not seeing any updates coming in just yet, but of course, as this all develops and continues to update, we of course will keep you updated both on air, online, across all of our digital platforms. And as this situation continues to develop, we will, of course, pass along updates as they're warranted. But again, in the meantime, a fairly urgent situation unfolding here in the state of Arkansas, where an Amber Alert has been issued for 17-year-old Trinity Case. She is possibly being held for ransom after leaving work at the Pour Some Sugar on Me bakery in the city of Hot Springs last night. I'm Mitch McCoy. This has been breaking news coverage from KARK4 and Fox 16. Have a good rest of your day.
This has been a special report from Fox 16 and KARK4.